It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday. Oh my God. I got sent the worst freeze frame ever yesterday. So if you haven't seen it, check it out on our stories. One of our clients who was in the training this week sent a freeze frame. It's like I'm in mid-floor singing or something. And Cheryl's like,
I thought it was one of the ones that Neil took. I was thinking, oh my goodness, like where the hell has that photograph came from?
no, that was actually from Amy sent it saying, like, just obviously with lots of laughter emojis. I'm like, clearly we were all going for it. At whatever point in the session that was, we were all in, fully
Thanks,
committed.
Amy. Thanks, Amy. Just in future, only like send us ones that are fully filtered where we're like looking down, faces are slim.
Yes, with some kind of hair flick.
Don't like just the image that we have of what will look in our own heads of what will look like when we're live. Thanks. I don't want any real facts of what the truth is.
No. So we are live across a few different platforms at the moment. I think we are in Facebook in our fabulous Selling with Certainty and Soul Spring. Phenomenal this week. We're going to share a few bits from that with you as well today. And because here's the thing, it is already the end of Q1.
How can it be Easter next week?
I don't understand.
How?
It means I'm hurtling towards my 49th birthday, which is in a couple of weeks. So I'm in the last couple of weeks of being 48.
To be fair, Donna, you tell everyone you're 50. Like I turned 50 in November, and now you've skipped forward. So when you were 48, still 48, you just kept telling everyone you were 50.
I know. I think I try and break myself in before I get to it. At one point, I remember in my 20s, my mum saying, but you're not 30 for 2 years. I think I had myself like a couple of years ahead.
That's what you're doing. You've been like, oh, well, yeah, we're 50. I'm like, I'm 50, only 48. But I feel like you've got yourself through the change curve. So when you turn 50 next year, you'll be okay with it.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Watch this space. Next year, you might not hear a lot from me. Does anybody else struggle with the birthdays? I'm actually pretty good compared to how I used to be. I used to be terrible. If you don't know this already, after the age of 21, I did not celebrate a birthday until I was about 38 when Caleb was born.
40 was the big one, wasn't it? When you were like, right, I'm having a 40th party. And we were, so obviously I'd known Donna being in her 30s, didn't want to celebrate birthday. And then you like turned 40 and you were like, I'm having a birthday party. It was like, come on.
No, and I cried. Well, 38 was the first year I didn't cry on my birthday, I think. I mean, how scary is that? But it is because for so many years, I knew I wasn't really living as me. Like I genuinely felt like I was living someone else's life.
Yeah.
I felt very inauthentic. I felt very unhappy. In my 30s, it was more just, I think I just developed a really bad habit of it by then. But I just knew there was more. I just, every year, I would think, Christ, is this it? Like, is this what I'm going to be doing? Do you know what I mean? Were you like that New Year's Eve, Jodine? 100%.
Interesting, isn't it?
It's so interesting. And then I just knew, I think by the time I was like later 30s, to be fair, I was married, I was settled down, I was with Neil, I was so much happier. But it was, even having Caleb, I was so much happier, but actually accelerated this need in me to want to do something else. I just wasn't consciously aware that it was this. I just felt like there's more, I feel like I should be doing something else or more, but I just didn't know what more was. Which is what we love clients. We love helping them work out what that more is for them. Like fundamentally, when Cheryl and I set Now Is Your Time, it was to help you discover your purpose, to discover the real you, like if whatever that is. And that is what we do now. It's just whether that's discovering yourself when you're in corporate. Do you want to stay there and go bigger there, or do you want to set up a new business, or are you in your business but you're still not living your best life because you're just filled with self-doubt? Like whichever way it is, we've always got a program or a way of working with you to help you out with it, right? I'm gonna take this off, it's itching me. I was cold but my cardigan's itching me.
She was the same about turning 40, thought life was going to end. It's so interesting, isn't it? But all of this is coming from our limiting beliefs and conditions and identity, right? We've been talking about identity a lot this week. And it's just interesting that the conversation's gone down this route, right? But obviously it's an identity piece, isn't it? It's like we've got these beliefs in ourselves, particularly as women, particularly around age. Don't we? We have this thing in us about, oh my God, especially when it's like a milestone birthday or a milestone happening in our lives, that we've got this old belief system, which is like, life's going to end. Like if it's saying, like, I'm not happy, like, you know, but I'm too old and I'm not going to be able to now go on and do what I wanted to do because I'm too old, right? We have this age thing that's stuck on ourselves.
Oh my God, it's crazy. And then even then when we started the business, we're in mid-40s, then I had this thing of like, we'll have to have made it by the time we're 50. And I remember saying to one of our coaches, like, well, not long after we'd started, said, well, it has to happen by the time I'm 50. She's like, why? What happens when you're 50? And like, I didn't know the answer, but it was almost like, you know, the Christopher Columbus thing, like the world will just end and we'll just fall off something. But I hadn't realized until I'd said it out loud. And again, I did the thing, I was like, oh, as long as by the time I'm 50, ah. Just like, what was that? Like really called me on my bullshit. And I hadn't realized until that point, like how much pressure I was putting on inside of myself that it all had to happen. All, whatever that is, by the time we're 50.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 50. What's going to happen to me by the end of this year when I turn 51? Am I just going to puff away and disappear in a puff of smoke?
100%. So many women do say to us though, don't they, Cheryl? It's like, I'm worried about, you know, what'll happen, you know, whether it's when I become a mum or what'll happen after a certain point in my career or what'll happen, you know, when the kids leave or what will happen. Like we have all of these big milestones. The whole thing in it, like Cheryl said, is that we allow like life to be the thing that's kind of making the decisions, if you like, and it's riding us, and our identity gets lost somewhere in the noise. And when you work with us, like we always say, we're you coaches, because it's about us helping you understand who you are, what you want, and how you make that happen, whatever that is for you.
And sorry, go on, Donna.
No, go on, love.
I was just going to say, and your age, whatever milestone birthday, whatever milestone things that you've got in your mind about the future are all part of like your old belief system. And it's like, we call it like future tripping, catastrophizing, because we're not thinking good things, right? We're putting pressure on ourselves, which doesn't need to be there, stops us from taking action now in the moment. It stops us from being happy now, realizing how fabulous we are now, and taking action towards transforming our lives now, because we're waiting for something bad to happen when we turn a certain age. It's like
you end up in this fear and paralysis. Like, you know, actually, you're so scared of what might happen, but you don't know what any of it is. So then you just don't do anything. And you just keep hoping or wishing or like that it might get better. And you do make incremental moves, right? But so many of you say to us, I feel like I should be further on. I feel like I should be somewhere different by now. Yeah. And equally, we ask you the question all the time of like, how will you feel if you're where you are now in 12 months' time? And most people don't want to be, and we don't want you to be. Like, we want you to progress and to move forward. But that's why people will work with us or any other coaches, because it's all about accelerating from where you are now to where you want to be. Because a lot of the time, from where you are now to get to where you want to be, you lose confidence and faith in yourself on that journey, because you hit the roadblocks, you hit the stumbling blocks, and then you make that mean that you're a failure, that you're not good enough, that you shouldn't have tried, you should have stayed in your job, you should have stayed where you were in the business, you shouldn't hire the team, blah, 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 blah. And then off you go. And when you've got nobody else there standing going, actually, what is this? What does it mean really? You just go down a rabbit hole. And then that's where the stuckness, the plateau, the feeling frustrated really kicks in.
our ego's trying to keep us safe. Yeah, your point on day 3 about it being an illusion. Yeah, because we create all these stories in our heads about the time of something, about the age. It's all just an illusion, which is keeping us stuck because it wants to keep us safe. But then we're not really living our life to the full, and we're certainly not living life on purpose and living in our purpose and feeling the joy. We're stopping ourselves from doing it, not on purpose. It's our subconscious mind trying to keep us safe. But obviously we want you to have the tools and the techniques to be able to create a new belief system for yourself, so that you can decide right now in this moment that you want to start to go towards your dreams and make whatever you want to have happen now, regardless of your age, sex, color. Like, it's all gravy, right? It doesn't actually matter.
100%. So I guess this is like a rallying call today. Like, we have no idea whatever's going to be said when we come on these. We just kind of go with the energy. Like, we this is a Q&A. We've got a little bit of time with you. Ask us anything. What do you want to ask us, right? How can we serve you today? How can we help you go from the 1st of April like it's New Year, or like it's your new year, like whenever that is for you, so that you feel like it's possible, that you're possible from tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to speak to us about, or DM us about how we can support you, then do it. I mean, this week we've been supporting women in the sales and the sales confidence training we've been doing. And everybody, it was funny because one of the clients said, I don't know if we shared this the other day, which is like, I saw the thing saying selling with certainty and soul, and I was like, well, I hate selling. It gives me the ick, so I'm not going on that. And then the client said to her the next day, well, you know, everything, your stuff's like really underpriced, like you should be charging more, so she signed up for the program. Because we're not teaching you how to overcome objections and like the best selling questions and hooks and all that crap. We're telling you the mindset that goes into being confident in your business, in your life, and how you show up as your highest self, how you create the life that you want to live from the inside out, and how you become so passionate and mission-led and heart-led and purpose-led that you're never selling. You're never selling because you're showing up from a place of love, faith, or authenticity every single day in every single conversation. That's what this week's training's been about. And you can still grab that now. If you want to have a major mindset up level, I'm going to drop it in now. Over this weekend, you can binge watch all of the replays. There's like 3 90-minute sessions that we did. And for a very short time, we're going to leave in there the £2,000 worth of bonuses. And that's only £111. The whole thing's only 111. And you can jump and get that now, and you get the recordings to keep. So if you know you want some help with your confidence when it comes to showing up in your business, then this program will be great for you. But if you just want some help, ask us your questions. If you just want some help in general, to go, do you know what? I just feel stuck. I feel like I'm overwhelmed. I'm really saying hello. I don't know whether I need a VIP day, which we did yesterday with a client at a beautiful spa in the Northeast. I don't know if I need to join your mastermind and just get accountable for 6 months and get some support with like launching and making my business bigger. I don't know whether I need to get some just imposter syndrome training. Like, DM us, like, where are you at and what you're stuck with, and we will help you, guide you into what the right program or course or conversation or free resource is for you. And if anybody got the email last night from us, check it out, because in there I put 4 different things. If this is where you're stuck now, this is the resource. Everything from a podcast to a program. So make sure you check that out. 5 actually give you 5 different ideas. So just DM us or ask us here. Tell us where you're stuck, and we want you to have a fantastic 2023. It shouldn't feel hard. It shouldn't feel like a struggle. It shouldn't feel, you shouldn't be dreading Mondays. Like, life is too fucking short, quite frankly.
What she said, peeps. So people keep putting things through the door, which is why the dog goes wild. Oh. You know, if I opened the door, though, his ears would go back and he'd be like, hey. So ask us your questions. What would you like to ask us? Donna and I are here. You've got us. Ask us any questions that you wish right now. But we've been having just even like, for women who have come live on the sprint this week, some women have joined up and watched on replay, like some of the messages that we've been getting, just some of the things that the women are putting in the group where they've just gone, just with a shift in mindset and took actions in their business, like literally gone to networking events, made really strong connections, like it's just
conversations.
Yeah. Just taking the action that they wouldn't have, which is going to really progress in their business forward. And this is what we want for you. We know that when you're living in your purpose, when you're feeling really powerful and you're stepping as your authentic self, that you will make such a huge impact in the world that this is our mission, right? We want to help you to be living on purpose and have an impact in the world so that we can impact the world. Like, this isn't just about us, right? This is bigger. It's bigger than us.
100%. I love that. Let you see, I couldn't imagine the difference to myself and so many of the ladies we've watched live. I know, like literally in 3 days. And Alina did a beautiful post on LinkedIn this morning. Again, I've popped it on the story so you can check her out. She's incredible. And she's very new to us. She joined the sprint, and she messaged me the night saying, I'm literally in bed, my little boy, like, I can't believe the difference 3 days has made. And then she's done a post this morning saying, like, you don't often sign up for a 3-day course, like for £111, and think it's going to be life changing, but this one is life changing, not business changing, not confidence changing, life changing, which makes us like so happy and feel so fulfilled.
Yeah.
I know the transformation, and this is the one you can get now for 111 with over £2,000 worth of bonuses, which includes for a very short time the request to have a personal assessment done by us. That's basically me helping you with your prosperity pathway, your income plan. So Yvette did ask a question.
Oh,
What's the biggest challenge you ladies have seen as a trend with clients lately? The biggest challenge of seeing with clients is there's a lot of people going into kind of freeze mode. There's a lot of people like scared to move. It's almost like we're waiting to see what happens with the economy or things, or we're scared, you know, like they say, I'm scared to spend money and I'm scared to make a decision. I'm scared. Not so much our clients in the elite mastermind, because in there you guys are like, I don't want to look at the trends outside. I want to create my own economy. Like, I want success regardless of what's going on there. Like, that's why they're at that table. And we are, you know, that the enrollment for our mastermind is open right now. We've got very few spaces for April. One of them was taken yesterday or the day before by Letty, who's joining us. And we, you know, April starts tomorrow. So we're very excited to like do a whole new month. But in general, just a client in general, and I class clients as like anybody who's in our world, anyone who's in our movement or has downloaded our free stuff or whatever. Like, for me, they're still clients. There seems to be just this real fear and scarcity going on at the moment. And when that happens, you start really tuning into the self-doubt and the imposter and the catastrophizing voice, and what if it's hard, and what if it's wrong, and what if it's, and you're not really tuning into the side of you that is the truth. It's like, I'm capable of more. We've been through worse than this, and know that I can create a business that I love regardless of what the outer conditions are. It's like you always have an option of what you're tuning into. And at the minute, I'm just observing a lot more people making fear-based decisions. And I can tell it's fear because actually when you speak to them, there's almost like an irrationality about it.
and what I would add on to that is, and what we taught in the 3-day sprint was, when we're in that state, we rely on opportunities being given to us from the external world. And when we're filling our minds and our belief system with that, there's no opportunities because of the state of the external environment, we then feel powerless, hopeless, that we can't do what we want to do. But actually, all of the opportunities and all of the ability to create your own opportunities is already in here. So when we start to really tune into our belief system and the power that we have inside to create our own pathway and opportunities, regardless of what's going externally, that's when the magic happens. Just, we don't always know that we're really tuned into the outside world as much as we are, and we don't always have the tools to be able to block that out and just know that you've already got everything you need inside you, which is what we've taught in more depth this week.
Yes, and Louise is just saying struggling really bad with imposter syndrome at the moment. And yeah, and I would look at just what is creating it, like what is different now in your environment that's exacerbating your imposter syndrome symptoms, so that you can really deal with whatever the thing is that's aggravating it, rather than deal with the imposter syndrome. In terms of our resources, if you know you want help with imposter syndrome, DM me imposter, and there's a free masterclass that you guys can download. But the best way is to be in the Real You program, which is a 12-week self-paced program where you really get under the skin of the limiting beliefs and the identity of who you think you are, where a lot of your imposter syndrome habits come from, and change yourself from the inside out. So you're really creating lasting change. And that's a lifetime access program as well, Louise. It is mind-blowing.
Yeah, Letty's, because Letty's just, she's now in our mastermind and getting excited to come in April. We've got an amazing guest speaker lined up, as we do every single month.
Oh, she's phenomenal, the one in April. Oh, she's incredible.
So exciting. Just going to block off half of our faces. I've only gone and written a 2-day outline of a course this week. Jodie. I was worried about the how to sell, how to get out there. And I thought, fuck it. Get the course created, get out there and start serving. But fear keeps creeping in. Yes, because fear's going, what the?
And it'll keep going up because it's different because you haven't done it before. And remember, I mean, we go through loads of models with you guys. It's just it's just fear. It's fear because you haven't done it before. And what do we say to fear?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, fear. Now swivel. And I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. And you can go out today and start talking to people and say, I'm creating this course. Who wants in on the early bird for it? Because the price is going to be going up, and get involved now. Yes. Boom. Out there, because it's not about you. Right, Jodine? It's not about me and Cheryl. It's not about anyone. I just posted earlier saying that one of the things that we taught you, the guys in Some with Certainty and Soul this week was, like, if you're doing something because you think someone's going to give you money for it, don't do it. Like, do it because you love doing it. We did this training this week, like however many people were going to show up. As it turns out, there's like 35 people in there or something. But we did this training because we love what we teach. We love what we do. We love our mission. We want to empower women, whether that's one woman or 1,000 women or two, it doesn't matter. It's like to know that it's something that you love doing, and when there's something that you love teaching, that's when you never work a day again in your life. When you turn up and do it anyway, regardless of who turns up, that's when you feel like you're never working again a day in your life.
It's the intention behind it. Yeah.
Peace.
That's what it was.
Any other questions? Got a couple more minutes. How can we help you? If you could ask us anything, we'll tell you the truth. You might not like it, but we'll tell you. What would you like to know about us, about mindset, about manifesting? And tell us as well, if you're watching this, what do you love learning more about? Is it about general mindset stuff? Is it about manifesting? Is it about money mindset? Like, what is the thing that you really love and get excited about when you know that we're doing a live or any other kind of training?
Because, we like to show up and serve. So it might be like in the background about how we're going to be serving you again soon.
Creating.
After our client intensive day, Donna and I sat and I had a slimline tonic without the gin. You had a soda water without the vodka. And we were sitting talking about what we're going to be doing over the next few months and getting excited.
And this is the thing, though, like, we get excited, and it's such a good question. We're going to answer that, Letty. But we just want to share, like, some of the things our clients in our coaching programs, like the mastermind, are manifesting. Letty left a full-time job, and Letty's been working with us. So Letty's always been in one of our programs. She was in the mastermind. She's been in the Real You. She's back in the mastermind, yeah? So there's different levels depending on where you're at and what you need. And Letty's, left the corporate shackles, launched a fabulous business, which is all about sustainability, how we live. It has a mission to help our planet, help our children understand, help our families understand how we can have an impact. It's like heart-led all the way through, right? You've got Wendy setting up Wealth of Ideas to help entrepreneurs, because sometimes we get a little bit tongue-tied with the messaging and what we're really about, to help them really nail that message. You've got Yvette with Clarity Jane Marketing, who's like gone big this last quarter. You've got Mel with the Creative Gift Shed, having our biggest orders yet. You've got Tara about to leave her corporate job, and a side hustle is already more than sustaining, in terms of it's like financially exactly where she wanted to be, with a plan of how to exit a corporate job and go into a entrepreneurship full time. Oh God, you've got, people taking part in Strictly Come Banbury. You got Tracy doing stuff like that you wouldn't have done from a confidence perspective. You got Kate set up her brand new business the other week. Like, they're all doing these brilliant things that they wouldn't have done if they hadn't taken time to get to create the inner shifts necessary to be brave enough to create the outer shift in the world. Yeah.
So we've got a few questions. So what are you manifesting now? And Yvette's saying, what's on your heart after the 3 days? Similar but different.
What am I manifesting now? Well, we're always manifesting. Everybody is always, whether you mean to or not. Oh, what am I manifesting now? it's just always like, generally speaking, like next version self. Like I was just literally sitting journaling before the call. Like this is how I spend my time, on a Friday, candlelit journaling. Cheryl and I had a chat this morning. Really, I think what we're manifesting now is like, what do we intuitively feel guided, like Cheryl just said, to be the next thing that serves you? Like, what is the thing that you need right now that makes us feel excited right now, that will be kind of creating, developing, and rolling out into the summer months? And then from a personal perspective, manifesting like having a fabulous time, like taking dad to Iceland, and yeah, there was something juicy on the go. Cheryl? Not quite often, are we?
No, well, definitely from a business perspective, like we're always thinking about what we can do to serve, and we're excited, just always getting excited about what really feels in flow and what feels good and what brings us joy, just with that ease, grace, and flow. So that's always exciting when we get together and start talking about that. Yeah, just I'm always focused on like showing up from a place of love, making sure I am manifesting great health, that I am manifesting great energy, so that I can just be living like my best life every day. It's like an ongoing thing. So lots of travel this year. We both know we want to do lots of travel this year. So we're definitely manifesting lots of travel.
And manifest a fabulous retreat for you guys as well in the Elite, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Charlie's just saying, when you're going through a triggering traumatic experience, how do you look forwards and not procrastinate? So the first thing is, we don't ignore the triggers or the trauma. That's really important. So when whatever work is required for us to heal in that moment and to really get into our bodies and release whatever it is that's in our bodies, Cheryl and I are big on that. And that might mean sometimes we have to go a bit slower and change plans or do something to get ourselves, to give ourselves a bit of space to do that. And sometimes we have moved launches or we've changed plans to do things because we've had things going on that just didn't feel right, or we had something going on for ourselves that we wanted to deal with. How do you look forwards and not procrastinate? I don't know if we're big procrastinators. I don't know. I'm questioning myself now. I'm a procrastinator. I think when something's really important to the mission, I'm not a procrastinator. I am a perfectionist. So the thing for me is more, perfectionism trips me up more than anything. That's what I have to watch for. But it's about every day standing in the vision and coming from the result that you're trying to create and making decisions. So it's known that if you're in a pinch point moment in time, it's a pinch point moment in time. It's not the truth and the everything of who you are, Charlie. So always going like powerfully reconnecting with that higher level version of myself, who I know that I am inside, because that is the real me, and having her make the decision.
Yeah.
Kate, I got one lead last night, but I'm struggling to know what's realistic in a 3-week-old business. What does realistic mean? I don't know what that word means. It doesn't matter about realistic. It matters that you celebrate the one lead and that invites more leads in, right? There's no such thing as realistic. It's a very subjective term. You do you, boo, is what we always say.
Yeah.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Woo!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Exactly.
Celebrate each other, and Kate's in the Real You program as well. So, and this is where all of our programs are high on community, have accountability, and are high on training, coaching, mentoring, giving you the tools that you need to have the transformation that you desire. Okay, so just DM us now, just with help or whatever, and let's have a little conversation to see how we can help you. And if you know you're ready to jump in, just DM us yes, and then we'll guide you to what it is that you want to jump into. Okay.
So we are live on Monday. I'm just going to check the time. 12 p.m. Monday, and we have the fabulous Tara Rule, who is going to be doing a live with us and really coming and sharing some of her transformations and a bit about our life, about what's been going on for her over the last couple of years, just to give you some inspiration about what is possible.
in the couple of years since she's worked with her, everything has changed. It's so exciting. And there is one more bonus for our Selling Without Certainty people in that group. The women in that group is there's going to be a live Zoom Q&A next week to tie up all of the last questions and things while that program is still active. So like I said, if you want to jump into that for 111, you can, for a very, very limited amount of time. We were going to take it down yesterday, we haven't. So do not hang about if you know you want more help with your sales, money, confidence, mindset. Right, have an amazing balls weekend. DM me now, tell me what you want help with, and we'll give you some guidance. Don't hang about. I don't do this very often. I'm only kidding, you can always DM us. And we will see you very soon. Big hugs. Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.